With home prices continuing to rise and interest rates creeping up as well, a lot of homeowners are wondering, should I stay or should I go? Is it better if I sell my home, maximize my return, and roll it into another purchase? Or should I stay where I am and weather the storm until I find a better time to sell? Well, that answer is unique to every person and varies depending on your situation. But I want to go over 5 signs that it might be time to sell your home. And if you fit any of these, it's something to think about. Hi everybody, Dan Jensen with RE/MAX Park Square. And I'm not here to say that everybody should be selling their home, because there are circumstances where it's best to stay where you are, whether you're in a low interest rate or you're not going to be able to find something that's going to suit your needs based on your budget for purchase. There's a wide-ranging, number of reasons why you might be better off staying where you are. But these are some of the reasons why it might be a good idea to sell. Number 1, you have outgrown your home. That is the most obvious and common reason to sell. Your house no longer fits your needs. You either need more bedrooms, office space, you need a bigger yard, you need some amenities that your house cannot offer. And that's a pretty plain and simple reason to sell. You've outgrown your home. That also has a financial ramification where a lot of people are nervous that they're not going to find a property to purchase. But if you're going from a mid-range home to a high-end home, there's a little bit less competition in that high-end price range. So it's a little bit easier to find a home than if you were going to go laterally from a mid-range to a mid-range, or even from a mid-range to a low-end home. So it's never easy to do both, to sell and buy, especially in this market, but it's a little bit easier if you're upgrading to a larger house. Number 2, the opposite. Your house is too large. You're an empty nester. You don't have the need for the amount of space that you have anymore, and it's too much to maintain. Maybe physical limitations due to age or something else are preventing you from enjoying your home the way you'd like, and you need something a little bit smaller. That is 100% a reason to sell your house. You have to make sure that you're going to find something in your price point, and that you're not going to sell your house for essentially the same price you would buy a new, smaller home. So you have to look at the market in your area and what makes sense. But if you've truly outgrown your home and you want to downsize and potentially save a little bit of money on your monthly payments, that's something to consider. Number 3, you need to relocate. Perhaps you were commuting into New York City or another major area, and you no longer have to do that because you're working from home and you don't need to pay the price for the property you're in, so you need to relocate. Or you've completely got a new job and career and you want to move somewhere else. A need to relocate is a legitimate reason to sell. If maybe you're going to move somewhere where you're still working from home and you don't necessarily need to sell your house in order to get that new job, but you don't need the cost of your home and you could find something cheaper and still satisfy your needs. Any type of relocation, whether it's work, job, family, whatever, it's a reason to think about what are the benefits and what are the drawbacks to selling my home. So if you're there, think about it. Number 4, you no longer like the neighborhood you're in. That's not very common because most people do a lot of legwork before they purchase a property, but maybe the area is going downhill. Properties are starting to become dilapidated. They're not upkept very well. The school system is not as good as it used to be. Maybe they're putting up too many luxury rentals near you. I know that's a problem for some people. They don't like having that much, traffic and that many people in a small area. Whatever the case might be, you might have outgrown your neighborhood and you want to look somewhere else. That is a reason to sell and look into the, possibility of getting a new place. Number 5, you cannot afford your current home. Now, this can mean a whole bunch of different things. 1, you can't afford your monthly payment. Maybe you bought at the previous peak back in 2006-07 and you can't afford your monthly. Maybe you bought 4 years ago and the house just isn't good enough and you need to do improvements that you cannot afford to do. You need to do additions, add bedrooms, do renovations that you just can't simply afford, whether you're doing a home equity line of credit, a personal loan, or just cash. You can't afford it in that respect. Any reason why you can't pay for the house that you want in the home that you're currently living is a reason to consider selling. And obviously the most important is if you literally cannot afford your monthly payments, you might be eligible for a short sale, which are uncommon right now, but they still happen, or you just need to get out, get as much equity as you can, and get into something more manageable. So here's 5 main reasons why it might be a time to sell. And if you fit any of these items here, or you've been thinking about any of them, give it some consideration. If you've been thinking about 2 or 3 of these reasons, definitely give it some consideration. Because the one thing I will say is, as rates continue to rise, the ability to purchase a property is going to become more and more difficult in terms of affordability, but it's also going to decrease the value of your home because those buyers that are in the marketplace are not going to be able to pay as much because they can't afford as much. So you're going to get hit with it on both ends. So if you need to sell, you need to sell. Don't be afraid to do it. We're professionals. We're here to help you. And if it's the right move, we'll get it done for you.